WYNT Mountain News at 11.
Good evening, I'm Emily Bennett. We begin tonight in Bell County, where a community still mourns the loss of 4 of their own. A house fire took the lives of Beulah Mullins and her 3 grandchildren, Sierra, Cynthia, and Sean Posey. Today, their classmates released balloons to say their goodbyes. I spent the day with them and their principal, who says it's hard to watch them grow up so fast.
I know that you love them.
Just a day after losing 3 of their classmates, Bell Central is starting the process of healing.
A togetherness today that we are seeing amongst our students and our faculty and the community at large.
Principal Jennifer Blankenship's job outside of the paperwork and the meetings is to help guide these kids as they begin to grow up.
Boys, are you liking your new home?
Growing up, learning about life, about people, and now for these students, about death.
See ya.
It's hard for Blankenship to watch her young students process this, but she's glad they can do it here.
They come here, they're loved, and they know they're loved, and they know that people want to take care of them.
News of the fire came as the school was already working to heal after losing another student just 5 weeks ago.
We lost a student in December, and that was devastating. And now I've lost 3 of my babies.
Now Blankenship prepares for the funerals.
Right now, the greatest thing that they need besides prayer will be financial support to help with the cost of the funerals.
Working hand in hand with the children's mother, wanting the school to be a pillar through the tragedy.
She's been up here today and we've talked with her. We want to be of assistance to her and of help to her. We want to share God's love with her and love on her for a little bit. She needs that.
And as the students walk through the hallways with heartbreak, Blankenship wants them to know
there's a song. It may look like we're surrounded, but we're surrounded by God, because that's how we fight our battles in this school.
Bell Central is collecting money for the funeral costs. If you want to help, you can drop off money at the school or mail it. They will take it to the funeral home. Now to Pulaski County. That's where police say a murder suspect turned a gun on himself. Deputies say 33-year-old Bobby Eldridge killed his wife back in October before shooting himself. He survived his injuries and was taken to UK Medical Center. It is not clear when he was released from the hospital, but deputies say they were trying to serve a murder warrant at a motel in Somerset today. That's when they say Eldridge shot himself again, this time fatally. A Knott County man is behind bars on child porn charges. It all happened in the Sassafras community. 39-year-old Elvis Stamper was arrested after an online sting. Troopers say they found that he was, quote, communicating and exchanging images with a female juvenile, unquote. Stamper was taken to the Kentucky River Regional Jail. Today we learned of a lawsuit on behalf of a Pike County man killed in Prestonsburg last summer. In May, high winds ripped a roof off a building being renovated in the city. This is video of that scene. The roof landed on a car, killing Michael Coleman. The storm, which lasted just a few minutes, uprooted trees and blew the roof off the old Hawk Shop building. Mountain Comprehensive Care Center now owns that building. The lawsuit claims negligence against MCCC and Castle's Roofing and Siding. Lawyers representing the family says MCCC failed to mark or post a warning about the hazards of the building remodel. They also say the roofing company failed to properly repair or replace the roof. New information about a deadly Leslie County crash in 2017. Alyssa Noble faces murder, assault, and DUI charges. Prosecutors say Paige Hayes died in that crash when the car Noble was driving hit her. During today's hearing, Kentucky State Lieutenant Martin Hunter testified about how fast Noble might have been going. Using mathematic calculations and video of Noble driving, Hunter and detectives were able to give an average speed she was traveling.
Measure of distance and time, how much time it takes a vehicle, a person, or an object to travel the distance. Do some very basic math.
From this, they were able to come up with an average speed traveled. They say it produced the slowest average speed at 40 miles per hour and the highest average speed at 47. The speed limit is 25. Noble's trial is set for July 21st.
Well, it was a beautiful day earlier, a beautiful night, definitely on the chilly side as we head into the rest of those overnight hours. We'll go ahead and take you to those temperatures. We're seeing a wide range, anywhere from about those lower 30s to maybe even some spots closer to the mid 30s, some spots into the 20s if you're looking down into parts of Hazard, and even over there into Monticello. Now, most of us will hang out right around those lower 30s tonight, mostly clear skies. We'll see a few clouds increase though as we head into tomorrow, but with those calm winds, clear skies, and those cooler temperatures, yes, could be waking up to some more frost as you wake up on your, this says this morning, tomorrow morning, you could be waking up with a little bit of some frost. And as we head really throughout the night, once again, clear skies, but we'll see those temperatures, clouds increase as we head into your Thursday. Then as we head into your Friday, we're going to see those temperatures increase, clouds continue to increase. And yes, some rain moves back into the mountains a little bit later as we head into your Saturday. I'll have more on that coming up in just a little bit.
Thank you, Paige. Now, tomorrow, the House is expected to vote on a war powers resolution that would limit the president's ability to use military force in Iran. Olivia Russell talked to a UK professor and former ambassador about what the next steps will be in relations between the U.S. and Iran.
I was a peace mediator for the United States of America, confirmed by the Senate to work on conflicts in Eurasia, primarily former Soviet Union. And my final assignment was a foreign policy advisor for the U.S. Navy.
After many years as a U.S. peacemaker, Ambassador Kerry Cavanaugh now spends time teaching at the UK Patterson School of Diplomacy and International Commerce. He says there's a lot to be learned about what's happening right now in the Middle East.
I think it was a very tense night around the world for many people, wondering what was going to happen next.
And what's next is still unclear.
I think you start sending feelers. Maybe the Europeans look at ways to do that. Potentially Russia is going to offer to try to help do that. It may simply be we will require a cooling off period to get a bit further away from this before you can start an active dialogue.
Cavanaugh says that dialogue is necessary, though.
Because diplomacy does require talking with and dealing with people that you don't necessarily like, but it's how you solve problems.
He hopes that dialogue can calm the tensions. In Lexington, Olivia Russell, WKYT.
Kentucky's new Secretary of State wants to require a photo ID to vote. Michael Adams says it's to provide more integrity in the voting system. The newly elected Secretary of State says he wants to stop voter fraud in Kentucky. Adams says because you already need a photo ID to get a bank account or enter the state capitol, you should need one to vote. But the legislation he's pushing would also set up a free way for people to get a photo ID if they don't have a driver's license. New legislation would require all Kentucky school districts to install cameras to school bus stop arms. It's already illegal to pass a school bus with a stop sign extended. The law aims at holding drivers who pass by school buses accountable. School officials in Marshall County say they already have cameras on their buses. They say since making that addition, there's been a sharp decrease in the number of stop arm violations. Inmates could move into the Laurel County Jail in just a few days. The new jail will have the capacity to house 664 inmates. The concept in the works for nearly 4 years to help solve an overcrowding problem. Laurel County Jailer Jamie Mosley says the new facility is not only good for inmates.
I think we've got, one of the greatest groups of people in this business, and now they have a building that's equally as equipped for them to work in every day, much safer facility for them to work in.
The public has a chance to see the new facility for themselves Friday at 6 and 7:30 p.m. Tyler Childers' recent trip to the Floyd County Animal Shelter is having consequences he could not have expected. A picture of the country singer holding a puppy outside of the shelter quickly gained popularity on social media. Adoptions and donations began pouring into the shelter, and the board of directors now plans to raise money to open a new shelter, all thanks to the recent attention.
It is a good place to live, don't get me wrong, but our people are suffering and our animals are suffering. So anything to let the rest of the world know that, hey, we need help in the mountains, I think is great. And for him to do that, I mean, it just shows how humble he must be.
The board plans to create a committee made up of people who do not work for the shelter that will be in charge of fundraising. Coming up at 11, the U.S. and Iran signal a desire to de-escalate. We'll take you to the White House with what the administration says about the strategy ahead and why some lawmakers are not satisfied. But first, more firemen join the fight against Australia's raging brush fires.
And we'll track our next rainy system and those warmer temperatures coming up.